Namaste, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to the Way Om Yoga. My name is Sarah, and today we are going to continue along with our theme of exploring the 7 Hermetic principles and applying those principles to our yoga and meditation practice. Now today we are on the law of cause and effect. So for every action that we take, it creates a ripple effect. It creates an equal and potent reaction. So what I like to do to better direct my energy is to practice restorative yoga, which is what we're going to do today. We're also going to couple the postures with some mantra, so some supercharged affirmations just to help ground our energy, to help clarify our energy, and to go about the rest of our day from a place of intention and empowerment. So cause and effect in real time, okay? So the only prop that you're gonna need for today is a bolster cushion, which is what I have here beside me. If you don't have a bolster, no worries. You can always just grab some blankets, maybe a stack of them to emulate the shape, or you can grab some pillows as well. But otherwise, that's all you're gonna need for today. Once you've gathered your props, go ahead and meet me at the center of your mat. We're gonna take this first from a seated posture. We're gonna come into fire log pose for our first posture. So there are 2 ways that you can approach this, kind of similar to what I'm doing here. So notice that I have just one shin, so my right shin just stacked directly in front of my left, kind of like a crisscross action. And then what I like to do from here is place my blankets or my bolster directly across my lap, and I like to lean out and over this way. So using that as a base of support to let my head hang heavy, to open through the hips, the outer hips in particular, even just getting a gentle release for the lower back. Now some of you may have this range of motion where you can stack one leg on top of the other. You may notice my knees kind of like popped up here. So what I like to do, so that it's just not dangling out here freely, I like to place a bolster underneath that knee for added support as I come forward. So just something to anchor into for this. And we're not going to be here for very long, about a minute in duration. And as I mentioned before, we're going to be using mantra for each and every posture. So something to guide us, something to meditate, something to anchor to for this practice. And for this one, creation runs through me is what we're going to meditate on. So again, creation runs through me. Breathing into that. Settling in here on your next inhale. And exhale. Now the lower chakras correspond to this energy of creation, of flow. So let's connect to that energy now of creation flowing through each and every one of us. And feel free to readjust at any point in this practice. You never need permission to come out of the posture. Take a counter pose, readjust. Make this your own practice. And let's stay here for just 2 more cycles of breath, friends, starting on your next inhalation. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Now, using intention, being very careful as we come out of this pose, let's go ahead and just set our prop off to the side. If you just simply need to take a counter pose, whether that's extending through the legs, if you want to point and flex the feet, maybe take some circles with those ankles, you are welcome to do that. Move about freely. Now, before we get the opposite side, I'm going to have you come into straddle pose next. So let's go ahead and take that bolster, whatever prop we have directly out in front of us, and we're going to bring the legs out wide. So not too much, not too little, but just right? And then when you're ready on your next inhale, we'll start to hinge forward using the prop as a base of support for us. Beautiful. And as we settle in here, I want you to meditate on the following mantra. A new way is being made. made now. And we'll meditate on that. A new way, a new path is being made now. And with every in-breath, just let that phrase wash over you. And every exhale will send that energy out. And then we'll stay here for just 2 more cycles, friends. 2 more cycles of breath, starting on your next inhale through the nose. And exhale, let that go. And once again, we'll inhale here all together. And exhale. Beautiful. We'll gently press ourselves back up to seated. Well done. And again, if you just need to take a moment to readjust, get a counter pose, you are free to do that. And as you're ready, we're going to set up for the other side. So taking fire log pose, this time with the left leg in front or the left leg stacked on top of the right. Okay, so again, using your props as needed, as appropriate for you. We'll go ahead and make our way into fire log here on your next inhale. Beautiful. And from here, friends, I want you to meditate on the following phrase. I reclaim my joy and share it with others. I reclaim my joy and share it with others. And again, just going as deep as the body will permit here. We're not here very long, but feel free to make any adjustments, friends. Allowing tension to melt away from the hips, from the low back. Reclaiming your joy, reclaiming your passion, your creativity. And breathing into any places that feel a little tight or fatigued. And once again, we'll stay here for just 2 more cycles of breath, starting on your next inhale through the nose. And exhale. And once again, inhale. And exhale. Very good. We'll gently make our way back to seated. We'll set our prop off to the side here just for a moment. Once again, if you need to get a brief counter pose, just simply stretching through the legs, whatever you need to do, go ahead and take that now. So we're going to come back to a comfortable seated position, and what I'm going to have you do is just simply embrace yourself. So what I like to do is just grab onto opposite arms. I like to give myself a nice affirming gentle squeeze here. Some of you may find it more soothing to bring the hands up and down, kind of in a gesture of soothing oneself, and it seems a little strange at first, and this isn't really a yoga posture, but embracing yourself, hugging yourself has a very soothing effect on the body. It increases our oxytocin levels, our serotonin levels. It helps promote deeper and more restorative sleep. And obviously, it promotes self-love and compassion. I like to rock gently side to side while I do this, so kind of imitates that comfort that we should have received as children. I don't know, just something about this gesture really helps ground me into my energy. It reaffirms me. And while we're here in this gesture of self-love, I want you to meditate on the following. I am safe and secure. Once again, I am safe and I'm secure. Beautiful. And we'll stay here for one more inhale. And exhale. And we'll let that go here. If you want to just gently shake the hands out, move the arms out in any way, you're welcome to do that. From here, we're going to continue on, friends, with our mantra. So what I'm going to have you do on your next inhalation, you're going to bring the arms up and overhead on an inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to cactus through the arms. So getting some opening here through the shoulder girdle and the anterior deltoid. And then bringing that energy into our heart space. So once again, it's going to look like this. It's going to be an inhale. Exhale, cactus arms, opening up through the chest, through the shoulders, and then exhale, bringing the hands in front of our heart center. And what we'll meditate on here, my friends, is my love goes out. So that's on the inhale. My love goes out and comes back to me tenfold. We'll do that a few more times. So on an inhale, my love goes out and comes back to me tenfold. We'll do that 2 more times. My love goes out and comes back to me tenfold. One more time. Inhale, my love goes out and comes back to me tenfold. We'll bring that energy into our heart center. If you'd like, you can rest your thumbs against your sternum in a gesture of receiving that energy into your heart space. Beautiful job. Now from here, friends, we are going to make our way onto the floor. So taking that bolster cushion directly behind you, underneath the spine, nice and close up against the low back here for support. And we're going to make our way down into bound angle pose, but from a supine position. Okay, so bringing the arms out down alongside us, allowing the shoulder blades to come down and away. Shoulder heads are nice and resting firmly on the prop. Soles of the feet are together. Now, if that is uncomfortable for you, yeah, you can most certainly just rest on the soles of the feet here, or simply just keep those legs extended. You'll still get the same benefit of this posture, okay? So whatever makes the most sense for you. Making your way there now. Settling in here. And then we'll meditate once again on the following mantra. I surrender to the love of the universe. And right here and now we are in a gesture of surrender. Opening up through the heart space, through the heart chakra. Allowing those shoulder heads just to descend and to melt into the earth beneath us. In a gesture of receiving. And steadying the breath. Softening the belly. Softening the jaw. All the facial muscles. I surrender to the love of the universe. And again, just allowing that phrase to wash over you from the crown of the head to the soles of the feet. We'll stay here for 2 more cycles of breath, friends, starting on our next inhale through the nose. And exhale. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. From here, we'll bring the legs back together if they're not there already. And if you want to just gently take the knees side to side here just for a moment before we continue on in our practice, you're welcome to get that counter pose. Now for this next part, you can take this with or without the bolster underneath your spine. It's whatever feels most appropriate for you. But what we're going to do from here, friends, we're going to prepare for a twist. So we're going to cross that right ankle over the left thigh and then simply just take the sole of the right foot over to the left side of our yoga mat here. So getting into the IT band, getting into the outer hip, the inner thigh a little bit here, a little bit into the hamstrings as well. So again, you can stick with this setup or you can remove the bolster if you need to. Okay. And twist and yoga are always associated with digestion, with releasing, with like wringing out, literally wringing out stagnant energy. And so here now, I want you to meditate on the following mantra. I release anything that doesn't serve me. I release anything that doesn't serve me. Anything you'd like to let go of. Any energy that's stagnant or maybe has outstayed its welcome. I want you to release that here and now. And once again, we'll stay here just for 2 more cycles of breath, so we're not here very long. So starting on your next inhale through the nose. And exhale. Once again, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful job. Now from here, let's make our way slowly back to center. If you want to hug your knees in towards your chest or simply just take that windshield wiper counter pose before we get the other side, you are welcome to do that. And then once again, we'll prepare. This time we'll cross the left ankle over the right, coming into the twist here. One of my favorite yoga mantras, one of my favorite ways to end my practice is the following. May all beings be happy and free. May all beings be happy and free. And sending out that love, not only into ourselves, but out into the universe right now. And once again, we'll stay here for just 2 more cycles of breath, starting on your next inhale through the nose. And exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale, let that go. We'll come back to center as you're ready. And again, if you need to get a counter pose, feel free. Now we are at the end of our class, friends, so if you'd like to take meditation, maybe Shavasana, you are in the perfect position to do so. But if this is all the time that you have today, my friends, I do want to close off this practice with you. So let's go ahead and make our way onto either side of the body here, just gently making our way out of the pose. And then using both hands for support to press ourselves back up to seated. I don't know about you, but I feel so good right now. I feel very grounded. I kind of feel that yoga high right now, that yoga buzz. So thank you so much for practicing alongside me today. Thank you for exploring this Hermetic principle of cause and effect. And just know that this action that you took today, taking this time for yourself, this time for your body, it's going to have a tremendous effect. It is going to have a ripple effect that's going to carry on with you throughout the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.